Where can I donate my embryos for stem cell research? I mean, true enough, it is a donation, but it's not as easy as like just pulling up at Goodwill and dropping off some t-shirts. Let's get into it in this episode. What's up? It's Corlandos Scott, and I am a surrogacy, egg donation, assisted reproductive technologies attorney. Let's just put it like that. I'm based out of Los Angeles, and my entire practice revolves around helping people grow their family through assisted reproductive technologies, like embryo donation, for instance. In this episode, we're going to talk about donating your embryos to medical research for stem cell research and the like. We'll talk about the importance of embryos in research. We'll talk about the barriers of donating for research, and we'll also talk about the guidelines. Let's jump right in. So donating their remaining or unused embryos to research is one of the options parents usually encounter while going through the fertility treatments or after trying to have babies. That is, apart from the option to donate the embryos to another couple who also may be dealing with fertility issues. Of course, the only other option dealing with your remaining embryos would be to destroy the remaining or unused embryos. So donating them to research is so much better than having them just destroyed, right? Well, just imagine how much good it could potentially bring us, and being part of that potential good just should make you feel good, right? Yeah, I mean, after all, that's how we got to where you could create embryos of your own because of medical research. So let's start by talking about the importance of embryos in medical research. What makes embryos useful to research and medical advancements? Well, it provides researchers and doctors more understanding about how diseases occur and how to possibly cure them. It's also used in regenerative medicine to generate healthy cells and repair or replace diseased and damaged cells and tissue, of course, and that's in people, especially those people with spinal cord injuries, type 1 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease. Actually, in 2013, scientists and researchers at Oregon Health and Science University successfully reprogrammed human skin cells, including the contracting cells that made up the heart muscle. These types of donations used in medical research also help victims of stroke, cancer patients, also patients with osteoarthritis, and that alone affects millions of people worldwide. Probably my favorite benefit is that it's possible to improve sight in legally blind patients. Listen to this. In 2014, an FDA-approved clinical trial found that treatment with embryonic stem cells improved the sight of people suffering from macular degeneration, and that the embryonic stem cell transplant proved safe in the long term. That alone blows me away. So this is a very important part of medical research. However, like most things in life, it's not all rainbow and sunshines. So let's talk about the barriers. Here's the reality. Embryonic stem cell research is quite a controversial topic, regardless of all the potential good that we just talked about that it could possibly bring us. As it stands, not every lab or institute involved in medical research even accepts donated embryos. And those which accept donated embryos, they have specific needs and policies, and those policies can vary too. That can even depend on things like what state the embryos were created in. It's even becoming increasingly difficult to find a university-affiliated laboratory that's actively seeking or accepting embryos. Laboratory needs and policies frequently change, and that affects when and how they accept embryo donations. Here's a quick list of some labs which currently may or may not be accepting donated embryos. The Renew Biobank at Stanford University School of Medicine's Center for Human Embryonic Stem Cell Research, Harvard Stem Cell Laboratory, the University of California, San Francisco IVF Tissue Bank, Oregon Health and Science University. These labs, especially those affiliated with medical schools, accept embryos for training and research. Here's something to keep in mind. One good option is to donate the embryos to the fertility clinic where your embryos were created. Now let's talk about the guidelines. But before we do, I want to ask you something. Are you enjoying the video? Are you getting anything out of it? Well, if you are, do me a favor. Click that like button, you know, the little thumbs up. Hey, and while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the little bell right beside it. That way you get updates and notifications whenever I release a new video. Now let's talk about these guidelines. We do have some guidance as to whether or not embryos should be donated or should be accepted for donation. The National Institutes of Health issued a guideline back in 2009 that included a recommendation for the donation of embryos to be used in research. So based on that guideline, embryonic stem cells must be three things. Number one, derived with private funds from frozen embryos from fertility clinics. Now, that must be from fertility clinics, which suggests that there's no direct donation from the donors themselves to these research foundations. Number two, they must be in excess of the donor's clinical needs. Of course, that brings into question, what if the embryos were never used after creating them and simply remained frozen or in the cryobank? Lastly, number three, they must be obtained with the consent of the donor. It shouldn't be just swiping your embryos and taking them for research without your consent. So how do you donate your embryos for stem cell research? Well, first, check your local laws because some locations may have restrictions regarding your ability to donate embryos. Check if your clinic is able to facilitate the donation. Also check if your embryos are appropriate for current research needs. And also know this, you have the right to ask how your donated embryos will be used. So it shouldn't be some black box or black hole that you throw your embryos into, never to know how they were used or how they were intended to be used. Now, because of the recent successes in stem cell research, the Obama administration signed into law the 21st Century Cures Act in 2016, and that included provisions intended to make sure that there would be timely regulatory review of regenerative and cell therapies enabled by stem cell therapy research. All that just to say that we're actually looking into these solutions. However, for each success, there's probably about 5 or 10 more failures along with it. And with that are going to come ethical questions and issues that keep scientists and researchers on their toes and probably up late at night. So when you're thinking of what to do with your unused or remaining embryos, consider all your options, ask your fertility doctors, and read and sign those consent forms. If you're looking for more information about assisted reproductive technologies, and specifically if you're thinking about surrogacy, I have something for you. I call it my 3 T's framework. It's my approach for navigating the surrogacy process in a safe way that helps you save time, money, and not lose sleep. If you want to get your hands on that 3T to surrogacy framework, make sure you click the link below.